Okay, Unit 4, Lesson 4.
Hey guys, welcome back to Unit 4, Living in Families, Lesson 4, A Portrait of the Canadian Family. So our learning goals for this lesson will be to recognize different circumstances of families in Canada as well as their functions. So first we're going to be looking at the single life. Young adults seem to be moving out independently increasingly. Many choose to get married later in life, or many choose to not even get married. Some reasons may be focusing on work before heavy commitments. They may have a problem with commitment, and there's nothing wrong with that. They may have bad memories of marriages that they have witnessed, and they just enjoy dating. Another group of people who are not living in families are older people who are widowed or divorced, those who have no children, and children who do not live at home anymore. Some choose to live alone because they cannot replace a beloved spouse or partner who has passed away or who they have broken up with. And many older people date nowadays, which is totally awesome. So now we're going to be looking at marriage. Marriage is getting less common in Canada than in the past. This can be due to a decline in religious practice in Canada, and some Canadians see their relationship as a private matter. They do not need organized religion to be legitimate. Others choose to avoid legal complications. What about common law marriages? Now we're going to look at divorce. Well, the divorce rate increased rapidly in the 1970s and 80s, and now the rate is declining. Why? Because there was a change to the Divorce Act of 1968. This allowed couples to divorce due to irreconcilable differences where they could no longer agree. The recent decline is due to many factors, such as waiting longer to marry, choosing not to marry in the first place, and common law relationships. So common law relationships are not recorded anywhere when they are formed. They're not recorded when they are dissolved. It's difficult to count them. And they are less stable than marriages, but the breakup is not visible in the divorce statistics. So working families are the most common family in Canada. The dual income family, to be more exact, where both parents are employed outside of the home. Contrary to before the 20s and the 60s, women are just as likely as men to choose an occupation, to plan their education, and pursue a career. In the 1970s, two incomes gave the family an economic advantage. It enabled them to buy luxury goods as well as take vacations. Then, by the end of the centuries, the majority of families had a dual income. The advantage became lost because families became used to buying more and more consumer goods. So by the end of the century, salaries did not increase as much as the standard of living. And the woman's income became as important as the man's for buying the necessities, not luxuries. And the definition of necessities has totally changed. So, again, by the end of the century, the average standard of living rose. The lifestyle expectations of Canadians changed completely, and the gap between the incomes of men and women narrowed. And this is a possibility of economic independence for women, which increased. And in the 1990s, the Vanier Institution of the Family estimated that it took 70 hours of work per week to support the average family. This is almost working two jobs at the same time. So the family income is the major influence on the family lifestyle. Families only consume the goods and services that they can afford. And an adequate standard of living is the cost of the basic necessities. This is used as a low-income cutoff, also known as the poverty line. Although extended unemployment results in poverty, most poor families have working parents. and some families are more likely to be poorer than others. Lone parent families are more likely to be living below the LICO, which is known as the low income cutoff, and only have one adult to support the family. Families obviously need to buy goods and services that are needed, rather than producing themselves. Poverty then reduces the ability of families to perform their functions to the best of their abilities. Families are able to receive assistance to increase resources to carry out responsibility through transfer payments such as unemployment insurance. Healthcare and education provided as a public service, which was government funded essentially. But then why is there still poverty in Canada? Where are the children? Canadians consider children to be the major part of family life. Many delay marriage when ready to have kids. And birth control is provided for people in partnerships and marriages for those who do not want children. Many common families have 2 children and many have 1. So when 2 incomes became a necessity to support the Canadian lifestyle, even young single parents needed to go to work because children cost a lot of money. Daycares then provide care for the children while parents work. Many parents work shift jobs where one takes care of the kids while the other is at the job, and this can take away from couple time. Some people have difficulty becoming parents. In the past, the only option for infertile couples was to either adopt or foster. And some are now choosing international adoption, which is amazing. And reproductive technologies have improved the chances of infertile couples being able to have a biological child. However, it can be expensive. And this is for those who are not ready to be pregnant, which is abortion, and that is allowed in Canada. Since divorce has become more common, the court must decide the custody of children amongst divorced couples. Custody refers to the decision of which parent the children live with and which is the legal guardian. Many cases have joint custody. But back in the day, men usually had the sole custody of the child because they were able to provide financially. So, improvements in the healthcare system in Canada have helped to strengthen the Canadian family. It has reduced infant mortality rates, and the immunization of children against infectious diseases has increased. It has given us access to antibiotics and has given access for long-term care for the elderly. And cancer patients have new cures created every day. Today, parents can be more confident that their children will lead a long and healthy life. The life expectancy has increased from 1920 from 59 years until 78 years in 1990 and has only increased since then to about 90 years old. And having a longer life requires that adults plan ahead financially in order to enjoy a comfortable life. The federal and provincial government have separate roles within the Canadian healthcare system. Healthcare programs funded by both go through taxation and ensures that all Canadians have access to the medical treatment that they need, regardless of income. This is paid indirectly through taxation, and reducing costs can always reduce the quality of healthcare, however. What about mental health? Rates of mental illness are increasing rapidly today. Suicide is actually the second highest cause of teen deaths. Are the services free and funded by the government through taxation? Not always. Do people get the urgent care they need for depression, for example? Nope. How is this a contradiction to the amazing Canadian healthcare system? So businesses and families have a reciprocal relationship. They need each other. And businesses need families to buy the goods and services that they produce. And they also need to employ family members in order to stay in business. Families do need the income in order to buy what they need. In the past, families were expected to produce everything that they needed. Now, people work at a job to produce one product or service and purchase everything else. And the demand for new products results in new businesses and large competition. When families purchase more jobs are created at the end of the day. Financial institutions are also seen as businesses. They provide families with financial services. They can often improve the family's quality of life and can invest money with banks to earn interest and increase their income. They can provide mortgages and credit cards, which is not always a beneficial option, and nothing is free in this world. So business and family changes in the way that business is conducted. It has an impact on family life. And hours that stores are open allows flexibility of time for families. But it also requires that employees who have families are to stay later and work. So the separation of work and family life seems to be reversing. Humans are now able to conduct business from their home. This reduces the need for office space and reduces commuting time. Children can also help to photocopy, stuff envelopes for their parents, and this does require discipline, but it is an option to integrate business into family life. But structure is always the ideal option.
The city of Belleville is ideally located in eastern Ontario between Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa. With a population of 49,000, it serves as the commercial center of the Bay of Quinte region with a market area of about 200,000 people. Belleville was established at the mouth of the Moira River on the beautiful Bay of Quinte, part of the Great Lakes system. The water is a natural asset that many enjoy. The Moira River provided water power for grist mills built by United Empire Loyalists when they settled this community in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. The industrial and agricultural town of the 19th century has evolved into a modern, thriving commercial and industrial center that retains its roots through a thriving agricultural sector. Authors Susanna Moodie and Farley Mowat called Belleville home, as did Canada's 5th Prime Minister, Sir Mackenzie Bowell. Ideally situated on Canada's busiest road, Highway 401, Belleville is the perfect location for all types of business investment. Whether you're manufacturing, distributing, selling, or just looking to settle down, Belleville can provide the amenities and services you and your business need. Home to brand name employers like Procter & Gamble, Nortel, Parmalat's Black Diamond Cheese, ExxonMobil, Kellogg's, Tacoma Auto Systems, Hala Climate Control. Belleville is the place where business comes to grow. Recently awarded the distinction of being one of the best places in Canada for business investment, Belleville continues to prosper and grow. The affordable and easily accessible quality of life is one of Belleville's greatest strengths. Take a leisurely stroll through one of our many parks. Cheer the home team at a Belleville Bulls game. Try your hand at sport fishing. Enjoy a local theater production. Belleville is home to the renowned Quinte Ballet School, which has an international reputation. Sample world-class dining at one of our fine restaurants. find exquisite items in our shops and boutiques. Belleville is served by an expanding hospital that is equipped with the latest medical technology. And the city has a very successful doctor recruitment program. Loyalist College has the flexibility needed to meet the needs of local business and industry. One of the fastest growing tourist destinations in Ontario is right in our backyard. Prince Edward County features beautiful white sand beaches. The county, as it is known locally, is the second largest wine growing region in the province, and Belleville is the gateway to this unique area. Beautiful Belleville has everything to offer you. Whether you're looking to locate or relocate your business investment, looking for a great place to live and raise a family, looking for the best place to retire, or just looking for a welcoming community that can offer you the lifestyle you've always wanted, the city of Belleville is the place to be. Belleville, proud of our history, inspired by our future.
So now I will have